I will not accept a pay raise.
Can you just elaborate on why?
I haven't knocked on anyone's door in New York City, and they've said their concern is that the mayor makes too little.
Keep it 100, I be feeling like Campbell soup over white rice. Baked chicken with the skin on. Yeah, Lowry's with black pepper. I'm fully seasoned with laughter.
What's up, y'all? So, New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani, he declined the pay raise that was approved by the New York City Council, and right-wingers, of course, lost their mind and lied about it because that's what they do. So, the New York City Council, they voted to give themselves an 18.2% pay raise, 42-6 in a veto-proof majority. So this will raise the council members' wage base pay from $148.5K to $175.5K, and the mayor's pay from $258,750 to $305,800. And Zohran, like I mentioned before, he rejected this pay increase. You can see it here.
I had a second question. If the city council passes this pay raise bill, I know you've said you won't accept.
I will not accept a pay raise.
Can you just elaborate on why?
I haven't knocked on anyone's door in New York City, and they've said their concern is that the mayor makes too little. So,
Thank you, everyone.
That's not my concern either.
Thank you.
Like it won't be mine. If it was mine, then that would mean I would be accepted. Yeah.
Where would you want to see that money go? It's not going to your pocket.
I think to go to the pockets of those who are struggling in this city. Yeah. Okay. Thank you all so much.
So this is probably not a very popular position, but I actually support raising the wages of politicians. They should make enough money where they're comfortable, but they'll be banned from holding any stock from 15 years after they retire. And once they hold stock, once they retire, they will be banned from running for office again. And they also can't accept money from lobbyist groups and give speeches that would make them lots of money, like people who retire from politics do. And once they retire, they will only be able to hold a regular job. So that's why I support politicians being paid a pretty good amount of money, because it's a very important job. But it would eliminate the corruption by no longer allowing them to hold stock. At the very least, not specific stock. It'd be like, a mutual bond. And they can't hold stock until 15 years after they retire or give speeches to lobbyist groups where you can make tons of money. And I think that's a very fair system, and that would make things much less corrupt. So despite Mamdani rejecting the pay raise, right-wingers such as washed comedian Michael Rappaport, he couldn't help himself but to lie about it. So here's his profile on Threads. It says, "I'm Michael Rappaport. You know who I am. Host of the I Am Rappaport Stereo podcast and at Rappaport Realty, dubbed the King of Threads." The King of Threads. This man has 583K followers. It's a lot of followers for someone like me, who's a virtual no one online, and for the average person. But for major celebrities, the King of Threads, there's people with tens of millions of followers on Threads, and you're calling yourself the King of Threads. What an idiot. And when you zoom in on his profile, ew, this man is ugly as shit. This man has no lips. You know what this man looks like? He looks like how Donald Trump would describe his balls. He looks like how Donald Trump would describe how his balls look like. MAGA men, this is what y'all look forward to. This is what y'all gonna look like in the future. Looking like a plague. Well, it's not just MAGA men. MAGA women don't look much better either.
I gotta get out of here! Too late!
So going through his posts, under Zohran, of course he spelled Zohran wrong. Under Zohran the Moron's leadership, New York New Yorkers have gotten the highest median apartment prices in American history, the highest public transit costs in New York City history, the highest level of people fleeing New York in our history. That's socialism. That it doesn't build, it doesn't create, it takes, and then it asks for more. Hey, at least he's cool though. Of course, he's saying complete stupidness and making things up because that's what he does. And he continued. Zohran Mamdani, at least this time he spelled his name right, is set to make $50,000 more than the Vice President of the United States. Communists always find a way to make themselves rich. So the thing that I know is he pointed out Zohran making 50K more than the vice president and whatever. How about talking about Donald Trump? You're mad with politicians making money, their base salary, but you're not mad with Donald Trump enriching himself to the tune of, I believe, $10 billion more since the start of his second term. That's not a problem. Zohran Mamdani, according to you, his supposed salary increase, he's making 50K more than the vice president. But you won't have a problem with Donald Trump making $14 billion more in his second term than since the start of his second term, more than a year and a half in. You see how stupid these people are? Let's continue. So you posted this video right under that caption.
And what I think is important to know is a lot of the increase in rape also comes from an expanded definition of what counts as rape, as well as survivors coming forward for acts that took place years prior.
And what is wrong with this man? Why did he post that under a caption of Zohran supposedly receiving a salary increase? That just makes no sense. So is he against survivors of rape coming forward, and is he against the definition of rape being expanded? So he wants to protect rapists. That sounds like the typical MAGA, typical Republican to me. So no matter how many times the definition of rape is expanded, I don't have to worry about ever being accused of rape because I'm not a damn rapist. It sounds like you're worried about the definition of rape being expanded or former survivors coming forward because you have something to hide. I've never been accused of rape by anyone. And I don't have to worry about ever being accused of rape because I'm not a rapist. The only people that would be upset about something like this are rapists. This man is Trump's nutsack. We know Donald Trump was Jeffrey Epstein's best friend for well over a decade and hung around him a lot. So Rappaport was probably there along with them at those same parties. And he kind of looks like Jeffrey Epstein a bit, doesn't he? I can see the resemblance. So then the next thread, he continued, more money than Zohran Mamdani's $258,750 is more than Marco Rubio, Secretary of State, $250,600. Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of Defense, $250,600. Scott Bessent, the Secretary of State, $250,600. And JD Vance, Vice President, $235,000. Here's the dick kicker. Mamdani's self-appointed committee is asking for an 18.2% raise for Mamdani and his elected officials. Okay, first off, these people just lie. Okay, first, Mamdani and the self-appointed committee aren't asking for an 18.2% pay increase. It's already been approved. That's first. Second, the New York City Council, they're not self-appointed. They are elected by people. Just like Mamdani was elected by the people, these people are elected. Mamdani didn't appoint a single one of these people to their positions. That's how you know this dude's an idiot. Self-appointed. Just completely making shit up. That's what they do. Make shit up. And then he said his new salary would be $305,800. Even a democratic socialist is deep down a capitalist. So another stupid point. Zohran is part of the Democratic Socialists of America. Democratic Socialists, they're more like social democrat, not democratic socialists. I'm not going to go very deep into the distinction between the two, but well, Zohran himself is a self-described socialist, but a social democrat, because he's part of the Democratic Socialists of America, who are social democrats. They're not against capitalism. They're against unregulated capitalism. They believe capitalism should be regulated with a much stronger social safety net. So that's the difference between capitalism and even if we talk about strict socialism. Socialists, they believe people should be able to make money, but they don't believe that there should be a fiduciary responsibility to maximize profit like it is under capitalism. You're by law required to do whatever it takes to maximize profit for shareholders. So socialists do believe that people should be able to make money. They just don't believe that you have to do whatever it takes to maximize profit, which includes cutting workers, replacing them with things like AI. No one supports these data centers and replacing workers with AI. It includes cutting costs, health and safety regulations to save money, doing whatever it takes to make the most possible money. That's the difference between someone who believes in capitalism, pure unfettered capitalism, and socialism. But let's continue. Oh, and then the very next tweet under this, it said the guy loves giving himself a raise with taxpayers' money. He's not giving himself a raise. You just made that shit up. And he continued to crash out over Zohran. The next thing he said was, Justin, New York City sees a mass millionaire exodus causing $11 billion in lost tax revenue. Don't worry, the dickhead with the overalls and now shirt will take care of it. So of course he's just making shit up, and he got completely ratioed on this post. So let's click on it. Oh, so right under the post there's a community note. It says the exodus, which saw New York City's share of millionaires drop from 12.7 to 8.7%, occurred between 2010 to 2022. So I don't think Zohran was in office from 2010 to 2022. He just got elected in 2024, took office in 2025. That's why you can't listen to these people. Okay, it says the same article states that New York had maintained its share of millionaires in that time. They would have collected roughly $10.7 billion more in tax revenue than in 2022, well before Mamdani took office. This is why you can't listen to people like Michael Rappaport and these other right-wing idiots, because they just make shit up. So looking at the comments, the first one, Justin, man obsessed with mayor fabricates yet another claim. Next comment, my illiterate uncle lives in a double wide in his Vietnam flashback and smokes 3 packs of Winston's a day. And his social media post is still more coherent than yours. Very true. I don't know his uncle, but it's true. LOL. God, ratioing Michael Rappaport is so easy. God, ratioing. Why is that word hard to say? Ratioing Michael Rappaport is so easy. It's basically like riding a bike with training wheels. This dude is the human incarnation of a fart you shouldn't have trusted on the way to the PTA meeting. Goodness. Justin, irrelevant dumbfuck makes up nonsense and posts it all over the internet. Next comment. Michael Rappaport has died 1970 to 2025. And then someone commented, that's not funny. His family could see his post and be traumatized when they realize he's still alive. Jeez. Next comment says, too bad that if you left the city, you would lose like $38 on whatever Israel's paying you. He's probably definitely being paid by Israel. Next comment, Zohran and Miss Rachel doing the crying. Wah, wah, wah. Next, Has Mamdani been mayor since 2010? You mayonnaise sandwich. That's on comment. I'm still in that one, mayonnaise sandwich. Next comment. It's early to be drinking, Michael. And someone said, Michael, shut the F up. The next comment. Cool story, bro. Fuck you and fuck Israel. Yes, fuck both of them. Next comment. If you were quoting the New York Post, it was from 2010 to 2022, 4 years before Mamdani was sworn in. Yeah. Next comment. The way Republicans are carrying on about Mamdani, you'd think he had been convicted of 34 felonies and had a trial of legal penalties for various frauds and 2 civil rape trials or something. That is the perfect comment to end these comments on. Then captioned under this video is the man's man, and it's that same rape expanded definition video. So you're saying a man's man don't believe that women who were raped should be able to come forward, or the definition of rape shouldn't be expanded to protect not just women, also children. That's what a man's man is. That's what a Jeffrey Epstein, the Epstein class man's man is, because they're child pedophiles. And it sounds like it sounds very much like you're a part of that. So this dude really need to hop off Zohran's nuts. Seriously. Like, get off this man's dick. For real. Like, you can't stop glazing Zohran.
Oh, please don't be glazing me.
I'm tired of these right-wingers who do nothing but get on these platforms and say the complete dumbest shit all the time. And it's mainly because he's Muslim. We know for sure that's the reason. If only we treated Islamophobia the same way we treated all these fake anti-Semitic claims, like, which is actually just anti-Zionist and anti-Nazi criticism. Because let's make this clear, Israel is the new Nazi regime. And it's not criticism of Jewish people. Saying that is actually anti-Semitism, because most Jewish people do not support Israel and Benjamin Netanyahu's Zionist genocidal regime. They don't support him. Every poll shows that. And if it was treated the same way, or even half, these people would become completely irrelevant overnight, and they would be shunned from polite society. And that's what needs to happen. These people are completely disgusting. And I want people to understand that they're going after Zohran specifically because he's Muslim. That's also why he happened to go after, on one of these posts, he also mentioned Ro Khanna right underneath. He's going after these people because they're brown, because they're Muslim. And something I want people to understand, I think people are finally starting to understand now, is that these right wingers, if their mouth is moving, they're lying. They never say or do anything out of good faith. And for a while, black people understood that for a very long time. We understood that. White leftists and white liberals are starting to understand that now, because how disgusting the Trump regime is and how blatant they are. But black people understood this for a very long time, because we would see what is going on isn't new, especially when it comes to minorities, especially people like black people, because we'll see a black person get murdered by police, a black woman, a black man, and these right wingers go online and make fun of them, go on TV and make fun of them, say it was justified, it was deserved. These people are no different. They're just showing the ass to everybody. And black people understood this for a very long time. White leftists are now understanding that these Republicans, these right wingers, they've always been evil. And anything they say is a complete lie. But there's something that black people understood for a very long time. And maybe white leftists will listen to the black leftists a little more often. Because while we agree for the vast majority of things, y'all see things a bit late. So Zohran right now, Zohran is the best mayor New York City has ever had. Possibly he could go down as the best mayor in American history. And I'm trying so hard not to make this a Zohran, the Gospel of Zohran channel. I'm trying so hard, but now I'm joking. But I have several videos coming out about Zohran very soon, and make sure you subscribe to see them. Because if you don't subscribe to the channel, let's say you really like the video, you like the content that I make, if you just like the video, don't subscribe, there's a very large possibility you will never see me again. So if you don't subscribe, you're just gonna miss out on more great videos like this. So that's the end of the video, but I gotta leave you with one more thing before the video over, and that's the word of the day. The word of the day for today is credibility. Credibility is spelled C-R-E-D-I-B-I-L-I-T-Y. The definition of credibility is the quality of power of being trusted, believed, or accepted as true and authentic. It is a measure of believability, indicating whether an individual, message, or source is reliable or worth confidence. Now I'll attempt to use credibility in a sentence. After I, and quite frankly, every person in the comment section of Threads completely destroyed Michael Rappaport, it is clear he has lost all credibility, and no one should ever listen to Trump's nutsack again. Hopefully I used that in the sentence correctly. So again, if you like the video, like and subscribe to the channel, turn on the post notifications so you know when my videos are coming. And if you want to donate, help a bit more, you can donate to a Patreon. I'll put it on the screen, the Patreon, and buy me a coffee. And yeah, that's about it. And if you like my videos, you can check out what YouTube recommends. It'll be here on the side. And that's about it. Peace.
Well, I've been stacking up. Nah, really, that ain't accurate. Cause I just spent my whole damn advance in the past couple months just to compensate for times we ain't have enough. Ooh.